And Derek and Jada, take it from there. Go ahead.
Good evening, guys. My name is Jada, and we're going to be doing a mediation today.
And hi, my name is Derek Williamson, and I'll be on the mediation today too.
I understand this is a first time for both of you all, so I'm going to go ahead and explain a few things to you. First and foremost, what a mediation is. We are here to help you solve the problem at hand. And we understand you guys are struggling with the issue of rumors. Okay, we also have to set some ground rules first. This is virtual, so we have to be respectful like we would be in person. We have to speak one at a time so we can hear you clearly and help you guys effectively and as quickly as possible. Okay?
And also, it's very important that you guys remember that confidentiality, what we talk about stays between us. It's not for your friends or it's not even for us outside of our mediation to talk about what we talk about online today. So it's confidentiality between us.
I also want to thank you guys for being mature enough to come together to do this. Everyone cannot do this. So I want to thank you guys for that. Like I said, confidentiality. Also understand that we're both neutral. We are not going to give you guys advice. We are going to let y'all solve the problem. We are just here to mediate, like I explained. So you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
All right. And one more thing before we get started, just remember that if anything is mentioned about harming yourself or harming anyone else, weapons or anything on school property as far as drugs or illegal contraband, we're by law sworn to say something about that. So that's something that we can't keep secret. But everything else is pretty much fair game that we can talk about. All right, then, Jade, it's over to you.
He's my partner. Okay, I think I want Erin to start. Erin, what happened? Please explain to us your side.
Okay, let's just get this straight. Devon is a cheater, okay? She cheats off of every test. She's a liar. She's scandalous. Like, I see her looking on other people's papers when we're taking tests and writing all these other things. Don't deny it, Devon, because you know you are. She's a cheater, and I don't like her anymore. We're not friends.
Devon? Hey, Devon, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Connection problems.
No. Devin, go ahead. Derek, can you say something?
Okay. So I don't know why she thinks I'm a cheater because I'm not. We're not friends.
Devin, we're having some problems with your audio. Can you say something? I don't know what's going on with Devin. Hold on a second.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, but your video is frozen. Okay, now it's better. Okay, all right, okay. So, Jada, can you repeat the question for Devin?
Yes. Okay, Devon. Erin just explained her side and why there's problems in the allegation she has, brought to us. So what do you have to say about it? What's your explanation?
I think that she's wrong. She's just making assumptions. She always thinks I'm a cheater, but we're not friends anymore, so it doesn't matter because she doesn't really know the truth. So.
Well, is there something you think maybe she can make that assumption? Do you think maybe there was something you did to make her think this way?
I didn't do anything to make her think this way. My grades have always been better than hers, and I think she's just drawing for straws, honestly.
Okay.
Really? Really, Devin? Really? You're going to spit that lie?
Okay.
At the beginning of the year, I was getting better grades, and then all of a sudden, here she goes getting better grades than me. Of course I'm going to think she's cheating. I mean, hello? We used to sit next to each other in class, and then all of a sudden she moved, and now she gets better grades than me? That doesn't make any sense. There's no way she could do that without cheating.
You are my only distraction.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. We're going to stop right there. We do have ground rules, and one of those was speaking one at a time. Let's also remember to be respectful. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, Erin, back to you and what you were saying. Have you ever thought maybe she had come up with a different tactic? Perhaps. You know, that she wasn't cheating. Was that ever contemplated? Did that cross your mind? Or what do you think?
I mean, I guess not. I just always thought she was cheating because I was getting the better grades, and then all of a sudden I would hear her bragging in class, talking about, oh, I got a 92 on this, I got this grade, I got that grade, and then I'm looking at my test scores, and we don't have almost the same answers, and how did she get a better grade than I did?
Okay, so basically you're telling me you're upset at the fact that her grades, her academics escalated to your level or slightly above, and because you don't know why or how, you made the assumption that it was cheating. Is that right? Or did I miss something?
I really wouldn't call it an assumption because I met her in biology class. But yeah, of course I started the rumor that she was cheating. I mean, why not? She all of a sudden got better grades, and that just didn't happen out of nowhere.
Derek, what do you think?
Well, I just have a question, I guess for you, Devon. How long have y'all been friends?
Well, prior to our falling out, we were friends for about, I would say about 3 years, 4 years.
Okay. And Erin, there was never a time that you guys had issues up into this incident with the grades?
I mean, no, we would always talk to each other, and we would always, help each other out because we did have a lot of classes together. And so I thought we were cool. I thought we were there for each other, and I didn't think she would be mooching off of me to get my answers. I mean, I knew I always had better grades. I just didn't think it would become a problem in our friendship.
I see. I heard you say earlier, Erin, that you had a problem with bragging, right? And you feel that she brags often. Is that right?
All the time. Like, if we're taking a test and I'm sitting here and I hear her talking about, oh, this is so easy, I know this and this and this. Like, that is so snobby. I don't like that at all.
My last question is to you, Devon. Do you feel that you brag often?
Well, I don't feel I brag, but I feel like people ask me what my grade is, I'm going to tell them. And if she overhears it, then she overhears it. But
okay. Jada's back to you.
Okay, Devon, I do have a question as well. Did you notice a drastic change closer to the end of the school year with your academics?
Well, I think the change came from slightly when we have had falling out. That was when we stopped becoming friends or whatever. And then.
Okay. And why do you think? Did you approach your studies in a different way? Did you choose to study? Did you cheat off of her?
Well, I think it was mainly I had a lot of free time after we stopped being friends. We hung out all the time and everything like that. So once we stopped being friends, it was just me, myself, and I.
So what I'm hearing is since you had more time, you had more time to focus on your studies, which made your grades go higher.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Erin, a quick question for you. Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. I was just wondering, did what Devon said clarify anything for you?
Yeah, I can understand how you have more free time and things like that. You can ask her what happened.
Erin, repeat what you said one more time. I was having a hard time hearing you.
I think it's her fault that we're not friends anymore. You should ask her why we had the falling out. I was just trying to be a nice friend and trying to help her with her grades. I didn't know she was trying to stab me in the back.
Oh, okay, I see. So there must be an underlying issue here. Devon, why did you and Erin fall out as friends?
Well, I don't know if you guys probably don't know this, but Erin's one of my closest friends. So I spent a lot of time with her. Towards the end of the year, she started, making new friends, this, that, and the third. And I just never saw her anymore. And I confronted her about it, and she got mad at me for even bringing it up. I should just not even care, and it really hurt me. So I just kind of stopped talking to her.
Okay. And Erin, you speak of backstabbing. So what was it that had hurt you so bad, or that upset you?
I mean, I felt betrayed by Devon because she would stop talking to me. She would not say hi to me in the hallway anymore, and I just felt like she didn't want anything to do with me. Yes, I was meeting new people, but it's not like they could ever replace Devon. She was one of my closest friends, and I would never let anyone become between us, but I felt like she did. She let this stupid, petty little thing with other people come in between our friendship.
And one more question, Devon. Why do you think you stopped seeing and talking to her as much? Is there a reason?
I guess I know I'm not here to tell her not to make new friends or anything, but I felt like she didn't have time for me. I didn't want to be bugging her all the time, you know. She had new friends, so I didn't want to be pestering her like, hey, we never hang out. So I was like, maybe it's better this way.
So what I'm hearing from you, Devon, is that since Erin was making new friends and you felt like she didn't have the time, you decided to minimize communication?
Yes.
Okay, I can understand that. Derek?
Well, Erin, so you said that if I'm right, when you was making new friends and hanging out with new friends and things, your intent was not to hurt Devon. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Devon, and when you kind of backed off a little bit and became distant because of that, your intent wasn't necessarily to hurt Erin either. It was just a matter of just giving her space, and it kind of like one thing kind of led to another. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
And I know, Erin, you said earlier that you said you felt betrayed by that space, and right?
Yeah, I felt like I lost my best friend. Where is the person when I had a crisis and I needed to tell her something? She wasn't there. She wasn't returning my calls or my texts. It was just like she up and left me.
Okay. Well, it seems to me that the intent on both sides, it wasn't to hurt anyone. And so as far as where everything is right now, Erin, what do you think? How do you feel about the furthering of the relationship? Do you feel that it's something that you want to work towards bettering, or how do you feel about the future of the relationship? Where do you stand on?
I feel like we could be friends again, yes, and I feel like I can forgive her. And I do feel bad about starting the cheating rumor because, you know, a lot of people were talking about her behind her back because of this rumor. But I felt like if she was really my friend, she would have never left me in the first place.
Okay. And Devon, how do you feel about the situation? How she said that she's sorry for starting the rumor. How do you feel about it and the future of your relationship?
Well, I feel like she shouldn't have started the rumor. I feel like she should have confronted me instead of just going off of what she thought. But at the same time, I do feel like it was my fault for not talking to her in the first place.
Okay, Jada.
Erin, what do you need from Devon? What do you want from her? What do you think needs to happen to fix this issue?
I think that Devon should be more understanding and open when it comes to meeting new people because, yes, I can have friends with other people, but they're not going to replace her. And I feel like she should apologize for, you know, leaving me and making me feel abandoned and betrayed.
And Devon, what do you need from Erin? What do you think needs to happen for this friendship to continue to grow and be existent?
I need Erin to apologize for starting the rumors in the first place. I need her to really just talk to me next time something happens, or promise to talk to me next time something happens, or she thinks something's happening. And I guess I don't want to say make time for me, but just I don't know, let me know that she's available. Not necessarily for me, but just not always busy with other friends or stuff like that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from both of you guys, the major and the main need is communication, understanding, and an apology. Can you agree with that on both sides?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you guys want this relationship to continue? This friendship?
Yes.
Okay, so do you guys want to come to an agreement right now? And we can have it written up for you and everything?
Sure.
Yeah,
okay, so
So, Devon, I'm sorry for starting the rumor about you. It was really unkind of me, and I feel really bad about it. And I really hope that you can forgive me.
I'm sorry for like not coming to you in the first place, for just, I guess, assuming things that weren't true. And I hope you can forgive me.
Okay, guys, I'm loving this. We are coming up with a resolution, and that's a big deal. I'm really proud of you all for working through your problems. Derek, I don't know if you can see it. I think he's gonna type up your agreement, and hopefully it works. And if not, that's okay. But I also want to end this mediation, I want you guys to realize that we're gonna check up with you guys. I think next week sometime, just to make sure everything is okay, make sure the agreement that we are writing up, you guys are still doing it, being a part of it. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Okay.
Okay, it sounds good. And like I said, you guys are definitely going to stay steady as long as you stick to the ground rules of the agreement.
All right. And Erin, how about you tell me, so what would you like me to put down as far as your end of agreement? What do you want to do better or change or want to see that I can write down for you?
I think that it would be good in order to spend more time with Devon if we could, keep studying together so then we both can make the same grades instead of getting her having better grades, because I can't let that go. And just being more open and communicative with each other would be better.
Okay. And open, you said open to communication, is that right? Okay, is that all, Erin? All right, how about you, Devon? What do you want? What about you? What do you want?
I guess what I can say I want is just for Erin, studying together would help. So studying together with Erin, so then there's really no issue in the future, and then we get to spend time together too while we study. Really just open up the doors to communication again with her, like start talking to her on a regular and again. And that's about it.
Okay, so let me repeat this back to you. So Erin, you said that you would like to spend more time together and you would just want to make sure that there's always an open link of communication. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, and Devon, you said that you think that'd be a good idea to spend time studying together and just and bonding, right?
Right.
And you also said that communication is vital to your relationship as well, right?
Right.
Okay, so with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm actually write that up on, I don't know if you can see this document right here, but I'm actually write it up and email it to you both or send it to you both so you guys can both have it. So hopefully you can see it on your screen.
Okay.
Okay, guys, like I said, I'm really proud of you guys for coming together and being mature enough to come up with a resolution and an agreement. Everyone cannot do this. I want to encourage you guys to stick to this, and I hope everything goes smoothly in the future, and we will talk to you guys very soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Are we finished, guys? I'm sorry. I know are we like?
Oh, he's still typing the agreement.
Oh, okay. Because I saw the record. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Derek and Jada, if you want, you can wrap it up you can thank the parties and that's it, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you guys. Like I said once again, and I hope let me know. Email me either Derek's or I, and let us know if you got the emails. And like I said, we'll be talking to you guys very soon, next week to be exact. Okay.
All right, y'all make sure y'all take care. I'm glad we were able to help you guys sort this out.
Thank
All
you.
right. Fantastic job. Alexandria, can you come back on? There you are. Okay. So Alexandria, now you can discuss with co-mediators and the students what you observed happening during this.
All right, awesome. So I was impressed last week, and I am equally impressed this week. You guys are clearly very seasoned and comfortable doing this, and jumping into the online forum, which adds sort of a different element. You guys seemed really comfortable and brave. And Derek, I commend you for working with that document there for us, so we could see how that works. So I want to see what you guys felt before I go into my notes to see how we lined up on that. So let's start with our co-mediators, Derek and Jada. How did you think this went? And I know you guys were the disputants last week, but how did it feel to co-mediate this week?
You go ahead, Jada.
Okay. Thank you. I think I did okay. I know I can do better. And my iPhone was glitching a little bit. I felt like I messed up the recording slightly in the middle. I do apologize for that. We had a couple technological difficulties today, if you will, with Devon going a little bit in and out and having a hard time.
Yeah.
But overall, I think we did okay. I think we pushed through. I was just for recording's sake. I thought, it wasn't as smooth as I would have liked. But as far as the discussion as a whole and the mediation as a whole, I think it was pretty solid.
Awesome. So I hear you talking about two different issues. We've got the tech side, which we're working with, and graceful recoveries on all of our little glitches. I think everyone, we got through. We understood each other. So don't worry so much about the recording, but I agree. I think it was a solid mediation overall with the actual skills that you're working on. Derek, how did you feel?
Well, I feel that I agree with Jade. I think, as far as me personally, I think that, I saw kind of what I need to work on, and I tried to take pretty good notes and repeat back and make sure I say, is that right? And I think as a whole, the mediation went well because they were able to, number one, figure out the issue, identify with it, then most of all, they were able to rekindle that relationship. And I guess as mediators, that's the ideal setting. So I'm happy that it worked out that way.
Awesome. So you did feel like it was beneficial. You saw as you were going through what you wanted to work on for next time when it was
absolutely
a live mediation. Awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Well, let's go to our disputants, Erin and Devon. How was it on being on the flip side this week? How'd you feel?
You go first, Erin.
Okay, I thought it was a lot easier being the disputant than the mediator, because when you're the mediator, you have to say certain things, so then you don't give advice, but then you kind of have to pull the real reason out of us. And I think Jada and Derek did a really good job with that this week. And I just felt like it was much, much easier to be the disputant than to be the mediator, because then you could just take it and go with it instead of having, kind of stick to the script a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Some material to work with. Yeah. Go ahead, Devon. Did we have this technical?
Oh no. I think it was easier to be a disputant, but at the same time, I liked being a mediator too. So I prefer the mediation part versus the disputing part, but that's just me.
Well, it's tough because you got to act, right? And we had our thespian on the other side of the table this time around.
Right.
All right, well, I'll go over some of my notes, and I'll start right from the top. Jada, what I really liked is when you went through sort of the formal part where, okay, we're getting into what mediation is, why we're here. You gave reasons for why we're having these guidelines. Okay, we're in an online forum, but we want to be respectful, right? Just like we were face-to-face. We want to talk one at a time. Why? Because we need to hear each other. That's why we're here. So it wasn't just a list of guidelines, but here's what we're agreeing to, and here's why it's important. And I think that's a valuable piece of information to keep including, because we all want to know why we have to do something, right?
Right.
Right.
So I really, really liked that part. And then Derek, you had an excellent emphasis on the confidentiality part of the agreement, of talking about what things wouldn't be confidential if it came up, but other than that, it was between us. And in all the ways, it was just between the people as part of the mediation, which gives a comfort to everyone, right? Knowing that it's not going to go anywhere. And then still sort of in the technical part, Jada, you praised them. And I liked that. Right from the get-go, we were starting off on a very positive note. I'm glad you guys are here. Not everyone can do this, but I'm glad you're here because it takes maturity to do that. I think immediately the people on the other side of that camera are going to go, yeah, okay, we're doing something good. We're starting a difficult conversation feeling good about ourselves. So I liked that element that you added there. And you did it several times throughout it, which you kept reinforcing that this is a difficult conversation, but you're very, that you're proud of them and that it's a good thing that we're having. So beginning of it, rock solid. I think it was a great, great start. Talking a little bit about our technical difficulties, our co-mediators. Because we're in a technological environment, we're separated from our bodies in the same room. It's very visual and very vocal, right? We're tuned in. I'm staring at just your face. And no matter what our two students said, no matter what rumors they were talking about, your faces stayed neutral.
Yes.
And I thought that was really important. You controlled that no matter what outrageous thing we were having going on. It was, okay, all right, now Devon, what do you think about that? And I thought that was important. Because that instinct reaction, in a way you can hide it a little bit better in person, I think, than you can online. And so that's something to think about too, is what does the camera see?
Absolutely.
Any comments from you guys on that top half? It was a long mediation, so I don't want to talk forever. On that part, anything you disagreed with or wanted to add?
I think it went really well when it came to like the technical difficulties. We all were patient. No one was speaking just to say, can you hear me? Can you do this? Can you do that? We all were just patiently waiting to let the problem resolve itself, and that's good. And that's something that can be a really, really good, useful tool whenever it comes to doing this virtually.
Yeah, and I want to kind of add on to that. Like, although mine was messing up, even though I'm the disputant, I could see like the mediators were still like calm about it. Like, instead of thinking, oh, I had just logged off, it was like, okay, Devon, where are you? Are you there? You lost connection, something like that. That was nice too.
I want to also add into, I love the way Jada would always say, all right, Derek, and like kind of like what Devon and Erin did, how she'll tag me in after she'll keep the facilitating as a lead, and then she'll tag me in and kind of see what my 2 cents were. And I think that to make things feel a little bit better in the beginning, I love the way Jada began. She started dotting I's on what about all of the rules and things. Maybe this is just a suggestion. Maybe the mediators, maybe we can decide, okay, Jada, you can talk about everything that you talk about, and then I'll only talk about the confidentiality and what we have to expose. And does that make any sense what I'm saying?
No, if I can speak on that as well, I completely agree with Derek being my partner. It was helpful because this is my first time mediating in a while, even though it was practice, and I know the purpose of practice is to get better, but he definitely hit points I honestly kind of forgot about. And that was reassuring to go in and be like, oh, I forgot to mention, and then mention at the end or the middle, and they're like, wait, you didn't say all this in the beginning. We didn't agree to this. So I see where you're coming from, Derek. That was very helpful. His strong point, my strong point, boom, teamwork.
I'm saying, I love the teamwork, Jade. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
That's why it's co-mediation, right? You guys are a team and you're there to help each other. And what I'm hearing from that is maybe, especially when we launch this, if you're working from different schools and you don't know each other, maybe that's something that's important for the co-mediators to do beforehand and say, hey, these are the points that need to get hit. Who's going to talk about what?
Right.
And maybe have a checklist there with you so you make sure that everything gets said and nothing gets left out. That's very good suggestions. And I can see you guys are thoughtful. I can see that you went, hey, this would be good for next time as you were going along. Very good self-reflections. Okay, so now into the meat, right? We've started talking with our disputants and figuring out what the problems are. One suggestion, I didn't write down the name of which of you made this statement, but I think, Erin, you were talking about starting the rumors or spreading the rumors, and then one of the co-mediators turned to Devon and said, well, do you think you did something that made Erin feel this way? And there was a couple of statements of, well, do you think you did? And my only suggestion there is maybe focus more on having the party focus from the other person's perspective. So why do you think Erin feels this way? Right. Am I making myself clear how one's a little bit accusatory and one's a little bit, hey, let me put myself in her shoes?
Right, I agree.
I got it.
Got it.
Good, that was a little convoluted explanation, but that's where I was going.
That's right.
And then great reminder, Jada, about respect. There was one little moment where I was like, oh, hey, remember we agreed to speak one at a time and we need to be respectful. And that reminder sort of nipped it in the bud and we didn't need to have that reminder again. But that was very effective. Then let's see what else. My hand sometimes moves faster than my brain does, so I have to work out what I meant. Oh, Derek, how long have you been friends? You posed the question. I think it was to Devon. That was a really good point because we had accusations flying at that point and going, hey, let's back up. Let's take this into perspective. Why are we here? How long have you guys been friends? 3 or 4 years. Okay, well, we didn't have problems before this. So clearly there's something else there. So that was a really good moment of kind of backing it up and going, hey, remember the history we've had together. So awesome job there. And then Jada, what caused this change? What I'm hearing is I liked your questioning to them, especially in the latter portion. It was very, you were paraphrasing, you were using their words. Derek, you did it well. You would say, you felt betrayed. This is the real issue I hear. So you use their words to talk back to them so they can hear it from you, which I thought was powerful. And then my final big point on this was one suggestion. Hold on, let me get my thought here. I felt like the disputants would have felt very heard by you guys. Jada, you said, what I'm hearing you say, Devon, what I'm hearing you say, Erin. But they didn't get to hear each other so much. They talked very much to you. There wasn't a chance for Devon to say, Erin, what I'm hearing you say is, or Devon, what I'm hearing you say is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So maybe providing a moment once you can see we've had some sort of reconciliation of going, hey, how do you think Erin feels? Devon, how do you think? Or what is she saying? What is the other party saying?
All right, I agree.
So that they feel heard by the co-mediators, but they also feel heard by each other.
Okay.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Making sense out of my notes. I have chicken scratch for handwriting.
Sounds like mine.
Anything you guys want to add to that portion of it? That was a lot of me talking.
I think, Devon, we did really good bouncing back off of each other because some of the parts I was like, I'm not sure, what we were going to say. I was just like, I'll let Devon explain it and then explain after what she said. It's easier and it's like use each other, what we say off of each other to, make the situation
right.
Just one-sided.
It's hard to fake argue when you never argue.
Definitely difficult, right, to have that back and forth. How about our co-mediators, Jada and Derek? Any comments or disagreements on that?
No, I agree completely. I appreciate that, actually. I never really thought of it that way. So thank you. Not positive criticism. Like, absolutely, thank you.
I appreciate it. I believe it was great. I got some key points to take away. You're right. I think that the dialogue between them is essential to helping them work their problem out. So right. I think that's something to be mindful of where to tactfully put that in, and where's the right time when you've made enough ground that you can put that in. I think that's a lot to think about. I'm glad that you brought that up. I never quite, jogged memory.
Yeah, and I think also kind of like that, because I'm starting, like I said, I'm thinking about it. This is all separate. So we feel very separate, and I understand how important that is now, that there does need to be the connection between them. There shouldn't be added distance. So that's why I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. We're not even in the same room right now. There's no type of eye contact. Of course, eye contact, but not direct. No body language you really have to face. You know, we're up from, you know, the neck up, you know. So I was just, it kind of helps with, I guess, I don't know if intimacy is too strong, but the bond, the clicking, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, Jada.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, they keep bringing the human back to the computer, right? To make sure that we're present in the moment.
Right.
Definitely. And I have to say, again, you guys have a lot happening for you when you're in these mediations. I mean, you've got two people, especially when it's a real issue, very fired up. You want to make sure you're hearing them and that all of this is working. And then we add technology to it. So that's why these simulations are cool, because we kind of get to step back and go, okay, maybe I need to have this written down next to me so that it reminds me as we go through to check for these things. So that might be a strategy you use at some point when you're online. Utilize your paperwork, and hopefully you can read it when you go back to it. And then so the sort of final end, that was the experimental sharing of the document, seeing how that was going to go. I thought it went really well for our first get-go. And I liked that, Jada, before the document got put up, you synthesize communication, understanding, and apology. This is what we need to happen. Communication, understanding, apology. And then that apology happened. So it was right there. We did it. Now we go to future communication and understanding, which took us to the document. And you talked about exactly how we're going to communicate and how we're going to understand, which I thought was a strong point. One thing that you might even add is go, what does that look like? Because we're going to communicate, we're going to understand. Maybe even include that in the document. This is what this looks like. Good communication for Erin looks like this. Good communication for Devon looks like this. It means when I text you, make sure you text me back in the same day, right? Don't wait a week or something like that. But the document was handled really quick. And one thing I was thinking of, and I don't know, Derek, because you were handling it, if there's some sort of maybe form that could be pre-ready of kind of the things that happen technically, and you could kind of fill it in so you aren't having to do the formatting and all of that while people are sitting there watching you type. It might speed up the process. How did you feel about that?
Well, I agree. I think if there was some type, I was actually going to bring that up. If there was a template or something to use, it'd speed up quicker. Or something that says like Erin has the agreement, the resolution, or whatever, and then I can just fill that in. This is what they agreed to A, B, and C. Devon agreed to A, B, C, D, and they want to try neutrally to do this right here. I think that'd be a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
It'd make it easier.
Good thoughts. Anyone else want to jump in on that one? On how the document looked on your screen or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, Derek, I think it's really, really great that you pulled up and you asked what we needed, because it's much easier to visualize it instead of just saying, well, yeah, I agree to do this and this and this, because you never know. I could turn my back and say, well, yeah, I may have said it, but I didn't really mean it. It's not physically there. It's not in writing. So it's very, very important that you could see it and that you knew exactly what you're agreeing to and what you're signing up for. So that is very, very helpful when it comes to writing a real solution.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that's another element of making it real, right? We talked about being separate locations. Having that shared document sort of brings it home again, brings us all into a common territory again. So I think that's a very cool element. And then the ending was great. Jada, again, you praised them for working through it, that they're committed to building their friendship back. And there was a reminder of confidentiality again. I think, Derek, you hit that point again. I think that was your staple that you were looking for. So we covered all our bases and closed out on a really good positive note. So we started really strong on a positive note and ended with a really positive note, which I think kept the whole thing consistent. So I have a couple more questions for you, and then we'll invite the bosses back into the conversation, I think. How did co-mediators? Derek, you mentioned a little bit about Jada tapping you in and out. Derek, back to you. Jada, back to you. How did you feel communication went during the mediation between you guys, and is there anything that would have made it better?
I'll say definitely. There's some things that I want to be able to communicate with Jada, but I just couldn't because, or there were certain things. I mean, I'm sure she had mutual feelings about things, but we couldn't confirm it, or I mean, we could have stopped it and did it that way. But I think that it should be maybe something. This is just my suggestion. Like maybe me and her, we would think of something really simple, like whether if I pull my headphone and put it back on, just to show, hey, that was a big indicator. I think you should. Maybe if it's a little secret, little sign between me and her to show that something stood out to me. I just want to communicate with her sometime, but I couldn't be slick or nothing because they're watching me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. Jada, how did you feel?
I completely agree with in terms of working good together. We did good for a first time in a long time. But I agree. I want to actually practice with the kind of stepping out, stepping in thing. I want to. I don't know. Was that an option that was available? Like kind of, hey guys, can you give us a second? Or was that just for? Okay. Yeah. I think I want to try that next time.
Yeah, you guys can caucus by yourselves. So Derek and Jada, you could have said, hey, we're going to talk for a minute. And they both would have been put on hold and you guys could talk. Or you could say, hey, we're going to talk to Erin for a minute. Devon would get put on hold, or vice versa.
I want to see more of that. Right.
I have a question. When it comes to like putting people on hold and being separate, can you actually put the two disputants together so that you can actually get that connection and have that conversation with them? Because we had mentioned, it's hard that they didn't actually talk to each other. Could you put them together and have them, kind of talk out their feelings, but the mediator still see and hear them?
Okay, Alexandra, let me show Erin and Devon and the co-mediators what happens when they want to put a party on hold, okay? So, Erin, I'm going to put you on hold for a couple of seconds, okay? Okay, so now Erin is gone, all right? Now I'm going to bring her back, okay?
It's pretty quick.
Erin, what did you see on your screen?
It was all black and in the middle. It had a small box that said you were on hold.
Okay, so now I'm going to put Devon on hold, okay? Just a few seconds, so you have a feel of what happens. Okay, so now Devon is gone, all right? So let me bring her back.
Now it's just me and Jada.
No, hold on.
Well, and you two.
Okay, so now she's back, okay? Let me see if I inadvertently put Erin on hold again. Okay, and Erin is back again. So you can put one party on hold or both parties on hold, okay? And it's very easy. With a click of a mouse, you put them on hold and you bring them back. So that if the co-mediators want to talk about themselves, just a few minutes, that is very easy to do. And probably we can do it next time, okay?
Thanks, sir. Absolutely.
Alexandra, do you have anything else, or shall we bring Cindy and Karen as well?
Let's bring everyone back.
Okay,
awesome
so
job,
Cindy and Karen, can you turn your video on, please?
There we are.
Okay, there is Karen, and Cindy is there. All right, go ahead.
Good.
Let's begin with Karen.
Okay.
Karen, any comments?
I know that my role is coaching Alexandria or giving feedback to Alexandria. Everything that I wrote down was what you wrote down. I'm going to insist that our future mentors watch your videos, Alexandria. I really appreciate that you invite the mediators first to reflect, that it's not like, oh, hey, do this, do this, do this. It's, hey, how was this for you? What do you think? What were your strengths? What did you think was a moment that you wish hadn't happened, or whatever? That's so important to get the student to first think for themselves, to bring a moment, and then that that can cross half your items off the list if they've already mentioned it, or whatever. That really validates their skill and their professionalism. So I swear everything I have. I haven't got anything. I haven't got anything. It was, the one thing that was maybe is, do we ask if there's others in the room? Or, I mean, I know Devon did a great job, Derek did a great job saying, remember, this is confidential. Is that a sticking point at any point?
Yes, it's an excellent question. In the opening statement, it is better if the comediators remind the parties, remind the disputants that they've agreed that nobody else would be there in their room because it's confidential, and they also confirm that they are not going to video or audio record the mediation. Okay. Since this was is the second simulation, I didn't want to make it too difficult, but
right.
We are assuming that the disputants have already read and signed a piece of paper, which says that they agree that nobody else will be in the room with them, and they will not video and audio record any portion of the mediation. So that in the opening statement, the comediators just remind the disputants, we'd like to remind you that, and can you confirm that nobody else is in the room with you? And do you understand that since this is confidential, you cannot video and audio record? Yeah, excellent point. Yes, absolutely.
Good. Yeah, I'm just in awe of the way, like with our little guys, they literally stand there with their script, right? They're reading it a lot of time because they're little people. But I'm just amazed at your elegance of. It doesn't have to go in this straight order. Once the agreement is clear and everybody understands the ground rules, that listening stage can go in big circles, and what you want, what you're willing to do, that can happen in different times. So I really appreciate your sophistication as mediators to move in the process in a more organic way than our young mediators don't do that. They've got, they have their paper, and then it's your turn to speak. It's your turn to speak. I really like that more. It does make sense that you would decide, I'm going to do this piece and that piece, but that it goes in a more real conversation. So,
okay.
Well done, Alexandria.
Before we move to Sandy, one other observation. At one point, I had the impression that someone else was in the same room with Derek. Is that correct?
Yeah, somebody.
Okay, that's fine. Now, since this is a simulation, it doesn't matter. Okay, but in an actual mediation, obviously, once you say that everything is confidential, and can you confirm that nobody else is in the room with you? Nobody else should be in the same room with the comedy as well. Again, this is a simulation, so
I agree.
It doesn't matter. Okay, Cindy, tell us how you experience this second simulation.
As always, very, very good mediation skills. I've taught you well. I feel so good about myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, very confident, very reassuring. I felt comfortable. I hope that the disputants felt like they were in a safe place. Disputants, how did you feel? Did you feel like you were in a safe place to talk?
Yes, actually.
Okay, great.
I know we said it before, but whenever Jada said thank you for coming and we're welcoming you and we're glad that you're here, it made you feel like you were in a safe space and that you could, share openly. And even, because there's been cases where they don't come to an agreement and they kind of leave upset. She made it feel like at the end, even though we came to agreement, whether you do or you don't, it's still a safe space, and we're all happy that you took this step and that, you know, you felt happy leaving and coming.
Right.
Exactly. Another question I was going to ask very quickly is, what kind of forms, like Google Docs, if I create a Google Doc where you could just kind of fill in the information, would that be helpful?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can do that. And another question I had, or I think we addressed this last time, would it be helpful if we put the ground rules up on the screen and went over them?
Yes.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, we can certainly do that. All right. So, you know, this is kind of organic. It's a living, breathing thing. I mean, we're creating this, so it's helpful for you guys to give us feedback of things that you feel like will be helpful. That's what we're here for.
Cindy, one comment about the ground rules.
Yes.
Because I've seen how it works. Putting up the sharing the ground rules up front has some pros and cons. The pro is that everybody knows what the ground rules are. The cons is that it's like in a classroom, you know, it's like the teacher telling the students, you know, be silent, I'm doing the talking. So I'm not so sure about I think that especially initially will be better to keep the ground rule informal, you know, and you want to actually, because you want to engage the disputants as soon as possible, right?
Okay.
So my sense is that it's better if the mediators have the ground rules written down, but instead of showing them, you know, they just talk about them.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my sense, but you can obviously.
Well, could we ask the mediators what they would like?
Sure.
Okay.
You go ahead first,
Jada. What do you
Jada.
guys like?
Hey, are we still on the same question, guys? I had some connection.
Yeah, about ground rules. Would you like them?
I heard the last little snippet of what Mr. Giuseppe was saying. I agree. I don't think they should be on the screen. Personally, for me speaking.
Okay, you say no?
Right, because one thing we really liked was it wasn't so script-like. It was very open. It was comfortable. You know, we were professional. We got to the point, but then, you know, hey, you know, okay, how you know. I think it was like them right there. It'd be like, oh, pressure, kind of type thing.
Okay, all right. So I have a vote for no. Derek, what do you think?
I have to say that I kind of, and this is my personal opinion, I kind of feel a little bittersweet about it, because I think that Jada she's very good at creating a safe atmosphere. She reassured them. Some people, I think that when we put the rules up on the screen and it's just brief, I agree with you. I don't think we have to be on it for 40 minutes, but I think it should, at least even if we say these are the main key things, but it just flashed that. I think it shows that this is serious. That but at the same time, I think we have a good mediator like Jade who can I don't believe putting it on there would destroy the atmosphere completely. When we're making them feel comfortable, we're just trying to help them understand, though. It's serious, too. And we feel that this is the proven method that's going to help you. And I believe that's our way of putting our little print in there saying, this is serious, too. But I think it falls on the mediators kind of to keep the atmosphere safe. But I actually agree with you. I'm bittersweet about it. I'm 50-50. I don't have
in that sense, I think it would be good and helpful in the beginning when we were doing it, but I don't think it should be up the whole time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Not the whole time.
So, Jared, what I hear you saying is for experienced mediators, it might not be that big a deal, but for someone maybe their first couple of times, it could be helpful.
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree.
Erin, what do you think?
I was wondering, when it comes to like the intake form, because you had the preliminary stuff that you have to do, you're talking about what the situation is going to be about and everything. I think that would be helpful having it on at the beginning so everyone could see, what was said, and it's easier for the mediator to say, okay, in your intake form, you said this and this, what's the problem and all that stuff, because it does help in case you forget what the real problem is. Once you start getting into the deeper meanings and the underlying problems, it'll make you, go back to, okay, this is what you wanted the mediation to be about. If you want to have another mediation about this problem, you can have it another time, but this is the problem that we want to deal with right now.
Okay. So having a summary of what the issue is going to be, and maybe as a reminder, this is what you agreed to.
Yes.
Okay. Devon?
I do think that the rules should be on the screen for the first part. Mainly, one, to help the mediators remember what all the rules are. Because like what happened with Jada and Derek, Jada forgot a rule, but Derek luckily remembered, but that's not always the case. Right. So just as a reminder for everybody, just have them on the screen. And I think having the intake, well, not the intake forms, the forms towards the end where everybody has to sign an agreement, those forms will be helpful as well to make sure that we're touching all our bases and not forgetting anything. But I don't think we should have them on there the whole time, because then it makes it look more like strict, like you have to come to an agreement, you have to do such, this, that.
Okay. All right. And thank you guys for your feedback. So we hear that, and we will definitely work on those things.
Okay.
A couple of final observations. Last time, Jada was connected by phone, right?
Yes.
Right.
This time we had people participating with a PC, with a Mac, with iPad, and iPhone. So the technology allows students to participate from wherever they are, using whichever device they have.
Right.
So that's good. All right. Also, you notice that we have spent the same amount of time mediating and talking about the mediation.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to learn as much as possible from each case. Not only what worked well, but particularly what could have worked even better. So initially we thought, well, 45 minutes mediation, 15 minutes debriefing. But it turns out that it can be 45 minutes mediation or 30 minutes and the same amount of time, to talk about it. Yeah, all right, okay. Okay, so unless you have any further question, in the next couple hours, I'm going to give you the link to the video recording of this simulation, okay? And I'm going also to send Cindy to share with the co-mediators and the participants an online exit survey to tell us briefly whether this was a useful thing to do, what you liked about it, or you would like to do better next time, okay? I think we have 2 simulations scheduled for next week, okay? And I can't wait to see you again next week. And I would like to thank you all then.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Everyone, thanks so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.